Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to learn chapter number 5, which is a different kind of school. Over here students, we are going to learn about a school which has different methodologies. They follow a different way to teach their students and a very interesting and inspiring one. So what is there over here? Here the author is narrating his experience when he went to a special school, a different school. What is different about this school? We will soon find out. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. So the author says that he had heard a lot about Miss Beam's school. So whose school is this? Miss Beam's. He had heard a lot of praises, a lot of good things about this school. But last week he had a chance to visit it. And what did he see over there? Let us see. When I arrived, there was no one inside but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with a bandage and she was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. She stopped and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. So, the first impression that the author got over there, when he reached there, he saw that there was a little girl who had a bandage on her eyes. And another boy was helping her to move between the flower beds so that she does not collide with anything. And they were walking on their way and suddenly she stopped and asked something to the boy, probably who was there over there. And the boy described, most probably the boy described the author to her. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard was simple. So, here the author is describing Miss Beam. How did she look? She was middle-aged, full of authority. She knew what she was doing. She had power, she had authority. Yet kind and understanding. She had a lot of authority, but she was kind and very understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey. Her hair was grey and she was a bit plump. Okay, but the type of plump that would comfort a homesick child, a child who was missing home. So, the author asked some questions about this school. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spellings, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. So, Miss Beam says that we don't teach anything from textbook over here. We teach them simple things, basic things that they would need to learn, like spellings, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. All of these things were taught at the school. But beyond that, everything was taught through talks and activities where the children had to just sit quietly without moving their hands, without speaking anything at all. There were no other lessons, just these basic lessons, and Miss Beam felt that if the students knew this much, everything else they can do on their own through talks, activities, etc. The real aim of this school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others and being responsible citizens. Look out of the window a minute, will you? So, Miss Beam said that the aim, the mission, the vision of the school was not to teach from textbook or to teach or to give them knowledge. The mission of the school was to teach them thoughtfulness, about thinking, about being kind. There was no other thing that they wanted to teach over there. And then she requested the author to look out of the window. I went to the window which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. So, the author did as Miss Beam had asked. He went to the window and over there was a huge garden. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me though to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see two more with the same difficulty. And there's a girl with a crutch watching the others at play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple. So the author says that he can see a huge ground, and over there a lot of jolly children. Jolly children means happy children who are playing. But he says that, but I feel bad that these children, all of them have some difficulty. When I came here, I saw a girl who had a bandage on her eyes. So obviously she was suffering from some eye problem. And right now the author can see two more such students. Then there was a girl who was with crutches, who was a cripple, who could not walk. And she was sitting quietly in a corner and watching everybody else play. So the author felt bad for these students because they were not completely abled. They were differently abled. Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, she said. She is not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. So she said that no, these children, they are not crippled or lame or blind. For the children who are acting to be lame, it is their lame day. Today they have to act like that. The children that you feel are blind, they are not actually blind. It is their blind day. They are supposed to be acting as they are blinds. This is a very important part of our system, to make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely, and they are on their honor not to peep. The bandage is put on overnight, so they wake blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. So Miss Beam says that the purpose of doing this, having a blind day, lame day, dumb day, is to make the children appreciate what they have. We human beings have a habit of not appreciating what we have while we have it. We do appreciate it after we have lost it. But when we have it, we do not appreciate it enough. We do not understand the misfortune that others who are deprived of these things feel. So Miss Beam says that I want them to understand, to empathize with the people who are misfortunate, who do not have as much as they have. So every semester, every term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one injured day, one dumb day, one deaf day. And those days they have to act like these people. When they are blind, their eyes are bandaged overnight. The previous night their eyes are bandaged. So early morning when they wake up, they will not be able to see anything. And the other children are given the responsibility to lead them, to take care of them. This way, both the child who is acting to be blind will learn a lot of things, and the person who is leading them, helping them, the helper, will learn a lot of things in the process. Now, was this method effective? Was this methodology of Miss Beam effective? We will learn this in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye.